It is, what day is it? Saturday, but it's in the evening. We're out here. Sun's kind of setting. It's about 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. And yeah, we're in spring now, loving life. Yeah, we've come to the other side of the bridge, but yeah, we're enjoying it. So, hang on, let me just set you down here. Yeah, this spot for me is kind of like sentimental a little bit because this is where my partner's from. But not only that, this is where I went through something quite personal to me. So I want to talk today about that whatever's happening right now, it will pass. It may not seem like it right now, but this too shall pass. I don't know if you've heard that saying, but this too shall pass. So I wanted to tell you a bit of a story of when I was a young manager. I went through something quite traumatic in my role, and I came here and I went up to that seawall over there, and I just looked out across the river, across the Severn Beach, across, was it the Severn Estuary? So I just looked out across the Severn Estuary. It just brought me calmness. Let me tell you a story. So I went to work and I went through something really traumatic. I don't want to really go into the details because it was not a nice time for me. Maybe I'll go through it in another video when I'm a bit more confident with sharing things, especially about work, especially that I'm still in the 9 to 5. I don't really like to share too much about work, although it was a past role. I still don't like to talk kind of about work things. So I just want to tell you that I went through something which was particularly traumatic for me, and I would say that I deal with trauma quite well, or I deal with hard situations very well. That's why I am, do these difficult roles, or I'm able to come out here and talk. But yeah, I came here and it felt like the world was ending at the time, but that wasn't the case. I called my mum and she talked me through everything that was going on, and she said, it feels like the end of the world right now, and I can really understand what you're going through, but just remember that you are a really good person and you've tried your best. And it's really important to think that. Like, I don't know what you're going through right now, but as long as you're trying your best and you're giving it your all, and you aren't trying to intentionally hurt people, or you're not going out and intentionally making the wrong decisions, then whatever you're going through right now, maybe people don't like you, or things are going wrong in your life, hopefully this won't last too long. And if you think back to anything you've gone through in the past, they've never lasted forever. And maybe, I don't know what you're going through, but someone said to me the other day they're going through a redundancy at the moment in work, and I said, how are you feeling about it? And they said to me, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. This is what fate has written out for me, and what is going to come next might be better than what I got now. So I'm not worried, because things will just all work out in the end. And although it's hard to think like that, it sometimes is the best way, because you can't control everything in life, and you can only focus on things you can control. If you're losing your job, you can't control that. The best thing you can do now is sit down, focus on the future, maybe update your resume and go out and push to get something new. You're better off not feeling anxious, or trying to use that anxious energy to drive and channel it into something that is going to push you forward. So I just wanted to say to you, coming here, it just brought some memories back for me, that in that time I've really felt like it was just too hard and it was too much for me. Now, I've never had really, really, really negative thoughts, but I was really thinking about quitting my job and just, living back with my parents. And although that might have been the best thing for me, my mum and my friends around me helped me cope with that and push through and just learn from those experiences and move on. So I just want to say that today. And I don't know if it's going to be a bit of a small video. I'm not sure. Like, it's not going to be a very large video, I don't think. But yeah, it's very easy to think that whatever you're going through is just the biggest thing in the world. But if you think back to a lot of other things that have happened in your life, a lot of key moments, they haven't lasted forever. Sometimes they're only a week. Sometimes they're only a day. Sometimes they last for years. It does vary, but yeah, just remember that whatever you're experiencing right now might be for the best. There's a proverb that is quite famous, and it talks something a bit like, I'm paraphrasing here, but it talks a bit like good, bad, I don't know. So if you'd search it up on Google, you'll probably find it. But it kind of goes like this. A horse ran away and the villagers said to him, oh, well, that's bad news, isn't it? And he said, well, good, bad, I don't know. And a couple of days later, the horse came back and returned with more horses. And the villagers said, oh, that's good. And he said, well, good, bad, I don't know. So then when the son rode the horse, he fell off and broke his leg. And he said, oh, and the villagers went back to him and said, oh, that's bad news. He said, oh, well, good, bad, I don't know. And then war broke out. And then the son couldn't go to war because he broke his leg. And they said, oh, that's good news. And he said, again, good, bad, I don't know. But the whole point of it is, hindsight is 20/20, and at the time, you don't know what is going to be good or bad. Some things that seem good might be bad in the future, and some things that seem bad might be good in the future. Like, if you were that son who broke his leg, in that first instance, that might have seemed like bad news, and that might have been like the worst thing in the world. But when that war broke out, it was the luckiest thing that could have ever happened to him. So you never know what life holds for you. So there's no, I'm not saying there's no point in worrying, but it's never going to help you. I don't think worrying, well, never has helped me really. So try and think about it like that. If you're going through something, then you don't know if whatever's happened is good or bad. You might be surprised to know that something that you thought was bad later on could turn out to be a good thing. So if you talk about my friend who's lost his job, like he said to me, he might find something better, and he probably will, something that's more fulfilling in his life and something that pays more. So yeah. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. I really wanted to talk about, let me set you up here. Yeah, last time, well, not last time I was here, but maybe like 5-6 years ago I came here and I was feeling very traumatized and very upset. And I don't know if the word is broken, but I definitely wasn't feeling good about myself, and I was worried and stressed and anxious. But you know, in the future, and what that did for me was it spurred me on to get a different job, and it did spur me on to push for a better role, a better career. So it did all work out in the end, and at that time it didn't seem like it was gonna. First of all, this too shall pass. And second of all, good, bad, I don't know. And that's, you know, the only advice I could give to someone is, if you worry too much, you spend your life worrying, you'll never take time to like actually appreciate what's around you. I think the best thing to do is, you know, come in here. One thing that really helped me was the calmness of the water. And I've talked about it in previous videos. I talked about lakes and rivers and the ocean, but it is really helpful, especially like the mountains. I always find when I'm high up on a mountain and I'm looking out over the vastness of everything, it is really nice. Something I used to do when I was younger, and I still do it a little bit today, is, and I'll do it actually. I'll show you what I like to do. So, see that bridge over there? This is something I like to do. In each one of those cars is a person, or a family, or even multiple people. And you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they've been up to in life. And I like to imagine, what are they going through? Someone might be going through a divorce. Someone might have lost their child. Someone might have lost their mother or father. Someone might have lost, someone might have had like really bad news today with their health. And you don't know what they're going through. And I think that like puts perspective in your life, because there's like 7, 8 or 9, I don't know, there's billions of people on this world. And we forget that like everyone's going through something. We all forget that everyone's going through something, and it puts into perspective sometimes like what you're worrying about is quite trivial. Unless it's massive, unless it is something huge. You know, we do go through stuff that is massive. Like I said, when you lose a loved one or you have a massive health scare, it is hard. But there is a lot of people going through a lot of stuff, and there's people going through things that are worse than me. Have you ever worried about, like, have you upset someone? You think, oh, I wish, did I worry about what I said? Did I say the right things and things like that? When you worry about things like that, like, and you actually think about what I just showed you then, about what people are going through in those cars, and then you realise, actually, why am I even worried about that? There's people going through so much at the moment. I'm literally just worried about something that is just so trivial. I can't say it any other way. It seems like the biggest thing in that moment, but you know as well as me that if you had half the worries, or if you had the same worries as what they were going through, then it would be a lot more difficult to deal with. So yeah, I hope some of that is helpful. But yeah, we're on the 7S Street today, so a bit of a different scenery. Of the mighty Wales, but we had to come over here today. I like to get out and experience whatever, innit? It's nice. And anyway, if you're going through anything, I'd like to hear it. You know, I'm always open, always like to hear what you guys are going through. So if you want to talk, let me know. Chuck it in the comments. Give me a like and subscribe, because we love talking on this chat, don't we? I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if you want to see more from me and you want to see more mental health videos and you like listening to me while you're going out for a walk, then it might be nice to give me that like and a subscribe so you can hear more of these videos, because it's just going to encourage me to do more, isn't it? I hope it's been helpful, because I like the outdoors and so do all you. So yeah, let's go. This too shall pass. Good, bad, I don't know. Bosh. I don't know what I'm talking about.